Polite Enquiries, Ageas Bowl. King of Wessex wants to know what kind of stars and how many of them have to align for Joe Denley to get to 40 runs in an innings.
Do you know what? So his average has fallen below 30. And actually, I don't want to be unkind. He's been really lucky. I mean, he should have got a pair on debut.
Sean, as in Sean B. Cricket, says, does Ed Smith go to bed wearing Jos Buttler pyjamas? And on that same thought, Kevin Adams asks, do you know what pictures Jos Buttler has got of Ed Smith? At this red-headed man, they're very compromising pictures because...
Look, I think everyone understands up to a point why the selectors, the management, like Jos Buttler so much. We all know he is hugely talented and there's a huge amount of potential, but at some stage, that potential has to be turned into performance, and it hasn't been. And it's been 42 tests, and in this year on the South Africa tour and onwards, he's averaging something like 16. So it's not as if there isn't anyone else who could do the job. You know, Ben Foakes made a century on debut. That's as many centuries Ben Foakes has made as Denley and Buttler have made in 57 tests between them or something. And I think it's time to move on from a couple of these players. And I think unless England do that, then it's probably time to move on for the selection team that keep picking them, because it is looking extremely stubborn.
Mark Ridley asks, is the best cure for insomnia counting sheep or watching Sibley bat?
I'm glad there was a second part to that question because it's just bizarre. I found it wonderfully dull, I suppose, fair play, but I thought it was reassuringly dull. I think that sort of stubbornness is what England have been missing, and I thought it showed great determination. It's an amazing thing, but you know, a lot of Test cricket is still about that defiance, and not just about the shots you play, but the shots you don't play. And he doesn't play a lot of shots.
I got a lot of time for that. Innocent bystander, hello again. He asks, who do England batsmen fear? This is another one that has me popping up. I can't. Okay, he asks, who do England batsmen?
I have no idea what this question says. I'm looking forward to it.
I find this so funny. Who do England batsmen fear most? Nathan Lyon, Ravi Ashwin, or Roston Chase?
It's an amazing thing, the Roston Chase. So to be fair to Roston Chase, while he doesn't bowl very many wicket-taking balls, what he also doesn't do is bowl very many poor balls. So
Exactly.
he puts... And what we do too often is we make the mistake of judging a wicket just on one ball for obvious reasons. But sometimes there are lots of deliveries that have led up to it. So I don't want to be too critical of Roston, because I think he's a perfectly competent bowler. He looks innocuous, but he is playing as part of an attack, and it works as a unit.
Sanjay Patel asks, does anyone in world cricket have a better angry fast bowler face than Shannon Gabriel? There was smoke coming out of his nose after that no ball to Sibley.
I think that's what you want in a fast bowler. They've got to have, Alan Donald used to call it, a bit of dog in them, a bit of determination, a bit of fight. And he's got the fight, he's got the character, but he's also got the skill.
Final question. Hugh Lloyd says, what would be sexier, George Dobell in a headband or George in Ed Smith's clothes? Ed Smith's clothes with that kind of Bond villanesque vibe, George?
I don't think I could pull that off. I think I'm more of a henchman. But I don't think I'm even a henchman. I'm more of a lover than a fighter. I'm probably just somebody who gets killed, an extra who gets killed.
Try it tomorrow, see where it gets you.
And just say things like Joe Denley's a very fine player. A good question. Jos Buttler should be Prime Minister.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.